51 years. And Annie tells me the first 50 are the hardest, so.
I took one look at him and I thought, oh my God, I'm going to be a friend of his. And the rest is history.
We technically met in the library at Penn State, and the folklore is, what they tell you is we were studying, but truth be told, we were not studying. There were so many. My grandmother and grandfather Hawk I was very close to, and that is Gertrude and Elmer Hawk. I was very close. I was in business with my dad for 21 years. He was a partner. I was his partner. And so he had a great influence. But I've had so many mentors over the years.
My parents were very influential in my life, particularly my dad. When I was going through my teenage years, he used to say to me, marry a man with a dream. And when I think about it today, I didn't always listen to him, but I did listen to him in that respect. And we had two dreams in our life. One was to build the business and do different things with it. And the other one was to found a foundation. And we did both, so we've been very blessed.
After all these years, I still get excited when something new comes in the door at the business. I'm semi-retired, but when something new is happening, a new product needs to be developed, man, I'm on it. I love it. What I want to make sure people understand is, yeah, I suppose I am in one way the leader, but in other ways, let's partner. Because your knowledge of whatever it is that we're working on can very well make this a better place and a better decision.
Try to teach people kindness. A friend of mine said to me, just be kind to people. And that sounds so simplistic, but it's not. And I've had some people come back to me like 10 years later and say, I remember what you did for me whenever I was going through a hard time. I think there's a lot of people who don't get much attention or feel very abandoned.
I think for me is to do the best you can and then accept the outcome. Not everything you try to do succeeds. I'm really intrigued with the way the foundation is developing, and that's certainly a project of love. And I'm very involved. I'm the chair of the board and one of the founders of the Nativity Miguel School here in Scranton, which is a school for underprivileged children. And that is something that really has my heart, because you can see children, and given the right guidance, makes all the difference. I love seeing people develop, people reaching goals and becoming more than they thought they could become originally.
We have two girls and two boys. And our second child, Carolyn, who was the second daughter, died of colon cancer about 15 months ago. And so I'm also proud of how the family kind of stuck together and was able to support one another. And you know, it's one thing to be a family in easy times, but when things get very hard, it's a struggle.
I got a pilot's license, I mentioned before, when I was 56 years old. In the fall of getting that license, I was so proud of myself, and I wanted to really memorialize that because it's the hardest thing I did since having kids, I think. I got a tattoo. And yes, it's pilot's wings it says U.S. pilot on it. And I said to Annie, for Christmas, I said, our kids are all going to be in, and I'm going to have to show them the tattoo. Now, none of our kids they've never been tattooed. They're appalled at the whole idea of being tattooed. And I said, but they're going to see us this summer. We'll be swimming. They're going to see the tattoo, so I'm going to show it to them. And so it was Christmas Eve, and we were all together. And I told them the story, and I rolled up my sleeve and showed them the tattoo. And our youngest son, who at the time was about 26, 27 years old, said, Dad, I'm disappointed in your choices. Oh, it's right here. It's on my shoulder.
Well, I think with the foundation, if it's substantial enough that it's probably going to go on hundreds of years, and people 100 years from now will look at my picture and say, "Oh, that lady did something for Scranton," and that makes me very happy and proud.
I think for me, I just would want people to know I was born in this community, I was raised in this community. My grandparents were raised in this community, my parents, and my great-grandparents. And we are committed to this community.